It's easy for us adults or experts, or we got all these years of experience. But one thing that Jasmine has that you and I don't have, she's an expert on being 19 in 2007. So that expertise, it's been 6 years or so since you were there.
A long time.
We don't know those dynamics. So even on the way over, I was speaking with Jasmine and another young man that's working in our office and who's a sophomore. His name is Jackson Klein. Really understanding what are the issues they're really facing. These are two people that, on the surface, sophomores at University of Michigan, Jasmine valedictorian class. He's got family support. But if their answer about what they're facing and the challenges are the exact same as the young people that we're coming in with single-parent homes, which I don't like that term, that mom's the only one at home and who don't see a man working. Their answers were the same. Peer pressure, the struggle with how we're going to make the right decision, the pressures. So what we're trying to do is say, let's normalize kids' lives a little bit. Let's make the neighborhood more responsible. Let's make sure. Jasmine affectionately calls me Uncle Mike. And you can see physically that may not make a lot of sense to people, but it does from a relationship. And what happens if all kids start perceiving us as part of their family and we start doing the right thing with children? And children typically they don't have agendas. They want what's best. They also learn the system very well. Jasmine knew how to manipulate. She knew how to make an allegations that wasn't true to bring some things on foster parents. So foster parents are set in this kind of this abyss where a child can say something and they're going to get investigated, and they should. But without a relationship, it deteriorates. And so what we really do a lot more emphasis on relationships and how do we learn how to respectfully disagree and not have the child hurt as a result of disagreements.
Mike and Jasmine, obviously foster care has been a big part of your life. Some of the situations were fine on an interim basis. Well, there was an attempt to reunite you with at least a good part of your family. But the fact is don't we need more good foster parents in Michigan? Here's my heart. I want to see every child in a wonderful, healthy, loving home. And sometimes that could be a foster home for an interim period. But I really want to see children move into a permanent situation, a permanent, loving, supportive situation so they can grow again to be all that God has created them to be. And so don't we need more people who are willing to be good foster parents, even accepting some of the challenges that are there, but also folks who are willing to adopt? And you're involved in both of those.
Absolutely. Right? And probably about 40 to 50% of our children are adopted by their foster parents, which really is substantial. The challenge is always to recruit new foster parents because of the challenges of space. When a person adopts, that home sometimes cannot even take another foster child in. If it's a 2-bedroom home and they adopt. But that's great, find a home for a child. But we're constantly in a recruitment mode. We're constantly training. We're constantly having discussions. We're constantly having our children talk to the prospective foster families. Because whether you're a foster parent or a parent, no one can tell you all the stories. But it's important to hear as many as you can so that you are, one, supported, have an expectation. There's a lot of things about this whole terrorism. They said they only have to be right once when it comes to terrorism. Well, we don't want to be wrong when it comes to our children. So you're right. Good foster parents are needed because good homes are needed. And emotionally, these children just want to be safe. They want to feel sorry for them. They want to know that they can be supported. They want to know that they're heard, and they want to know that the world is their oyster. Man, Jasmine would never. When we talked 7-8 months ago, I told her, I said, you're going to get on the roller coaster now. We're going to expose you to things. We're going to hear your story. And in that short time, she's become one of the finalists for Miss Michigan. Not that Orchards had anything to do with that. That was a biological thing. But she's now the regional spokesperson on behalf of foster care. This month, she spoke to 9,000 people in the city of Atlanta regarding the story. She's publishing a book. While she looked great internally, she didn't have the confidence. Now I've got to calm her down. I've got to say, Jasmine, you need to rest. You need to take care of yourself. And she's telling me the same thing. But I have 600 children every day that I have to be a father, an uncle, a director, a president for. And you mentioned something that's very important. Boards. The accountability is wonderful. We have a young lady who's been on our board. Her parents actually were the initial board members. She's raised money to send every child to camp. These kids who typically are in 80% of their lives are spent in an 8-block area. They're now getting on buses, going to overnight camps, engaging. And you know, when you think about your childhood, you remember the things you did, not the things that were said. So we think at Orchards that it's important to give kids experiences. They remember that bus trip. They remember sleeping in cabin. They remember fishing. They remember those things. They remember jumping in the lake for the first time, water skiing. Why shouldn't they have the same thing as I had? And so once you start normalizing, then they start to have some compassion. Then an all-A student can start helping that all-E student with academics. But the all-E student can start telling Jazz, girl, you don't need to go down there. That's a bad place to go. So,
so they can help each other.
Yes, it becomes a synergy.
They can help each other. That's good. Well, we just have a couple of moments left, and I'd like to say a couple of things. But Jasmine, as we think about your life, can you tell us, you've finished high school, or have you finished high school?
High school, yeah.
Yes, and are you, what are you doing right now?
Right now I'm just going to school to be an orthodontist. So
And
I've got,
where are you attending?
I'm dual enrolled at the University of Michigan and Schoolcraft College in Livonia.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, just trying to get it all done as soon as possible.
Well, one of those overachievers, huh?
Yeah. And I just, right now I'm traveling a lot, speaking about my story and just trying to be a good role model for the kids who need them. All the kids at the Orchards, you know, I want them to be able to look up to me. And I want them to know that it is hard. It's hard when you don't have a good support system, and there are times that you feel like you're not going to get through it, but
Sure.
you do. You will get through it, and I just want them to know that. So
That's wonderful. In about 30 seconds, can you look in that camera right there and just tell the people out there who might be thinking about being a foster parent or adopting, can you say something to them that would encourage them to move forward in that direction? Because I think that's so important.
Okay, well, if you are considering taking a child in, do it. Don't doubt for a second. Don't have any fears or anything like that. There are so many kids who need you, and for you to just take them in their home, that can be saving their lives. So, you know, take the step and just go and do it for the kids because they need you.
Thank you, Jasmine. I guess I just want to say too, I was talking to someone yesterday and heard that even if we looked at our houses of worship, churches, if every church, a family, one family in a church, or one church would take one child, we could have all of our children adopted in this state. We can make a real difference in this state of Michigan, and I want to see this state change and grow. I have a vision for Michigan that it will be a safe place for children, a place where certainly the economy will return and will be better jobs, but there are some personal things we need to do for our young people, and I think we can do it if we really put our hearts and our minds to it. Thank you so much, Jasmine. Thank you, Mike, for being on this program, and I just wish you Godspeed and what you're doing and in your future. Thanks. This is State Senator Bill Hardiman from the Capitol to the community, talking about another very important issue. May God bless all of you and have a blessed December.